The Buckeye State is, of course, Ohio, Paul. Dear Dave, do you have a real audience, or are your audience shots just old films of people watching old Lucy TV shows? I hear these so-called laugh tracks are commonly used on cheap, second-rated TV shows. Questionably yours, Jill Shanley, Buffalo, New York. Well, Jill, good heavens. Of course we have a live studio audience in here every night. Come here, let me show you right now. We get a wonderful group of people. Here they are right here. Now, folks, what do you say you give a nice hand, a nice round of applause for Jill Shanley from Buffalo, New York. Come on. There they are. Okay. Oh, there you go. Thank you, folks. All right, lovely. Our next letter comes to us. By golly, I have the courage to go on. Pat Feeney writes to us, even though your show is relatively new, I feel it has reached the point where a spin-off is in order. I propose that the first spin-off of your show should star Larry Bud Melman in a half-hour comedy series about the modern-day problems of an urban bus driver. You know, that's not a bad idea. I wonder what that would be like. Gosh, I just don't...
The Honeymelmans, starring Larry Bud Melman with David Letterman.
Hey, Alice, I'm home. She ain't here. Now I gotta make my own dinner. Well, I certainly ain't gonna eat alone. Hey, Letterman.
Yeah, bud.
Come on down here and bring some food with you. Humma, humma, humma. Humma, 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 humma. Don't you ever sneak up on me that way again.
Oh, yeah? How would you like me to sneak up on you, bud?
Why, you dirty. That's what you brought me? How do you expect me to eat such a huge sandwich?
Just one bite like you do everything else.
Honey, ha, ha, ha. Don't be a wise guy. Just put down that sandwich.
Okay, whatever you say.
I must be nuts trying to ride a bus company and produce a major network talk show at the same time. That reminds me. Here's tomorrow's script.
All right, let me see if there's anything funny in here for me to do tomorrow.
Will you cut that out?
Dave?
Oh,
Dave.
Good heavens, I must have dozed off. Thank you very much. Well, that... We'd like to take time out from our regular program tonight. Oh, this is going to be exciting. I'm glad you folks are here. Tonight we're going to look back at some of the marvelous stars and magical moments that have brightened this studio since the show first went on the air way back in 1952. But first, I'm going to ask somebody to join me at the desk who's been with me from the very beginning, and a person you all know and love, of course, Paul Schaefer. Paul, come on over here. Thank you.
How many years has it been?
Well, the late 50s or whenever that was. We sure have been through a lot together, haven't we, Paul?
We sure. That Ty's been through a lot,
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Well, you know, it has not been easy sometimes.
No, that's right.
I remember when I first started getting into rock music, boy, you gave me some kind of a razzing on that one.
Yeah, I'll have to agree there. I was one of the people who thought that it was just a passing fad, but you deserve a lot of credit, Paul, because you were one of the first to bring rock and roll music to this show. Now, we have a clip here of the night that Paul, known as Paul Dixieland Schaefer, became the Paul we know today. Yeah, watch the monitors. Paul Schaefer introducing rock music.
You may not recognize me without my trombone, but tonight I'd like to try something a little new. I'm kind of nervous because it's a kind of music that's a little bit controversial, but here goes. Lemon tree, very pretty, and the lemon flower is sweet, but the fruit of the lemon is impossible to eat. Join me on this lemon tree, very pretty, and the lemon flower is sweet, but the fruit of the lemon is impossible to eat. Lemon tree, very pretty, very pretty.
Quite a night, wasn't it? Of course, years later, I finally understood what rock music was all about, but at that time, I'm sorry, I just didn't get it.
Well, Dave, you were not alone, I'll tell you.
Now, we have some more videotape. Here's someone we all knew was going places from the moment he sat down in that chair. Watch this clip of a very young Richard Pryor when he first appeared on our show 10 years ago. So Richie, you're in first grade. What's that like?
Man, some of those kids are bad. Yesterday, we were having milk and cookies, right? And this white kid says, "Give me your cookie." And I said, "You can go."
Well, it was 1953 that was, and it was always a pleasure to have Richard on our show. Now, we also had some well-known celebrities at the end of their career, and one night I had the wonderful opportunity to chat with one of the great artists of all time, the legendary Pablo Picasso. Let's take a look at that interview now in its entirety. A magic night, sort of. Now, Pablo, you make a lot of money doing these, huh? And this guy, obviously some kind of an orthopedic problem there. This one, when you finish this one, bring it back, we'll look at it again. Now this, so obviously you drink when you work, just based on this one. These are great. Do you know Roger Price, the guy who does those droodles? He was on a couple of weeks ago. He does some wonderful things. You probably don't know him. Look, it was a pleasure meeting you. Pablo Picasso, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back with Stupid Pet Jokes. Thank you very much for being here. These are great. You know, I have to admit that wasn't much of an interview. We should have given him 2 segments, but it was 1965. Nobody really knew that the guy was going to, you know, have paintings that really amounted to anything. And,
you know, I'm still kicking myself for throwing mine away.
Yeah.
I had a couple.
But you know, the feature that we get the most mail, this is fun reminiscing, isn't it?
This
enjoyable.
It's a ball.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. But you know, the feature we get the most mail about was an audience participation piece that we used to do all the time years ago. You know what I'm talking about, don't you, Paul?
Dave, I think I do. Let's take a look at the clip.
Okay, take a look at it. And your name is?
Arthur Howard.
And you live in New York City?
Yes, sir, I do.
And where are you from, Arthur?
I'm from Montana.
It's an awful drive every day, isn't it?
No, actually, I was originally from Montana.
Yeah, originally. Okay, now, glad to have you here. Now, let's go on over here and play Dave's Cholesterol Corner, okay? Do you know how this works?
Oh, yes.
Okay, good. Now, if we can just have Corky, the cholesterol clown, come on in and not waste any more time. Hi, Corky, how are you?
Fine, Dave. How are you?
Great, nice to see you. Okay, let's see what we have here for you today, Arthur. We have the lard eclairs and, of course, a couple of dozen eggs right there. Here we have some really nice ribs. And this is our glass o' grease. And today I think we've got bacon. You came on a good day, Art. Okay, now you know how to play. So when you hear this sound, thank you, Corky, you have to stop eating, okay?
Right.
All right, ready? Go. Dave's cholesterol corner. Those were the days, weren't they?
Yeah, and you know, it really was a terrible shame when the Surgeon General's report put a stop to all those nutty times we used to have.
Yeah, it was a lot more fun when you could just do whatever you thought was funny.
Ain't it the truth? You know, wasn't it funny? Did you notice how funny our hair looked back in those days?
Yeah,
wasn't it weird?
Of course, that was the style of the time.
At the time,
yeah, nothing
yeah.
really. Well, Paul, I've really enjoyed this moment of looking back with you.
Thank you
It's a
so
lot of
much.
fun.
Nice sitting over here.
Yeah, we got a great show tonight. Okay, you should wait. You gotta go. All right. We'll be right back to meet the $5 million lottery winner, Curtis Sharp Jr. Now, letter number 4 comes to us from Alexandria, Virginia. Dear Mr. Letterman, I really enjoy your show and I watch it every night. It is on the air. One thing has always intrigued me, though. What was this strange daytime show you used to host? I heard it mentioned several times, and even though it was supposed to be the hit of the decade, I never saw it. I don't even know what it was called. I think it would be a great public service to all of your fans if you would show a clip of the best moments of that show. Well, that's from Brian Chidbury, Alexandria, Virginia. You know, the daytime show was similar to this late-night program that we do, only we were all a lot younger then. So let's now take a look at some videotape of that daytime program, shall we? Thank you very much. Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Daytime. It's March 22nd, 1962, and you know, this morning as I'm walking to work here in beautiful New York City, everybody is talking about this race for space, and I think I now know the obvious reason that those Russians are sending cosmonauts up there. They're trying to find what they can't find down here: apartments. Say hello to Paul Schaefer. It's a little early, ladies and gentlemen. Paul Schaefer in the combo. Hi, Paul.
Let me just say one thing. You are the Sputnik of talk show hosts, and I mean that sincerely. But seriously, I do have a sort of a controversial announcement to make. Starting today, we are going to have 2 Negro gentlemen joining us in the band. And we're very happy about it. And they're wonderful musicians, and we're happy to have them with us. So back to you.
Great. Nice to have you guys with us. We got a great show for you this morning. Coming up, one of my favorite funny men, Frankie Fontaine. Of course, the incredible Hi-Lo's are back with us this morning, and Roger Price with more of his irreverent droodles. We'll be right back after a word from the Tony Twins. Yes, Daytime with David Letterman. We may not have been on the air too long, but I think we broke some ground. We're going to pause. We'll be right back with George Sroda and his worms. Now this is of particular interest to me, the TV of the future. Let's see what marvelous programming is in store for us 30 years from now. Let me just push it on there. The TV of the future, ladies and gentlemen.
What you talking about?
Now, Arnold, try to understand the situation.
What else?
Yeah, Bermuda. It is a cool.
Well, that's the TV of the future. Going back over here and see if there's anything else on TV here, the old... Okay, I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to pause, hose down the audience and myself, and we'll return
That
with the show.
Bermuda.
Yes. This and much, much more. We'll be back with Jerry Lewis. That's right. Letter number 5. Dear Dave, what will late night look like 30 years from now? Mr. Van Hefner, Eureka, California. Wow. Now, here's something to ponder. What will late night look like 30 years from now? Gee, gosh, I wonder what that would look like. 30
Owner
years.
of a lonely heart. That's me. Thank you very much, boy. That song sure brings back a lot of old memories.
I like these old songs.
Aren't they something?
Sing us another oldie, Paul.
Well,
Yeah.
Thank you very much. First, I want to tell you kids a little story about a guy. Now, this was back when the show was being taped over in Sector G. Oh, thank you very much. And people from Sector G are here. Fabulous. Well, let me tell you, I worked with this guy. Gosh, it must have been 30 years ago.
30 years ago? What is this, ancient history?
I tell you, you kids keep me young. Anyway, back then, this guy was actually the host of this very show. He was a kind of a tall, skinny fella, and his name was David Letterman.
You mean President Letterman?
You know, even then he was interested in politics and a lot of people.
Dave, wake up. Dave.
Oh.
Dave.
Oh.
Sorry. Let's nod it off a little bit there.
Thank you, Paul.
Okay, let me remind you once again, we've only just begun. We've taken care of the viewer mail. Tonight is the night of the great dog sled race. Wake the neighbors, phone the kids. You'll be glad you did. We'll be right back, folks. Thank you, folks. Thank you. Welcome back to the Sunshine Summertime Happy Hour. You know, summer has always been a time for looking ahead, and while the future may hold many surprises, we here at Dave's Summertime Sunshine Happy Hour think that some things will never change. Yes, I'm talking about the eternal conflict between the generations, or the generation gap. We think it will always look something like this.
Stay tuned for Bob Hope's Lunar Loonies with Bob's guests Bordar, Crimulon, and Brooke Shields right after President Tabak's address.
Who would have ever thought it? An actor for president.
Honey, I'm home.
How was your day, sweetheart?
Oh, it's the same old rat race, you know, 2 hours a day, 3 days a week. Honey, bring me a martini pill, will you?
It's all ready.
Oh, great, great. Ah, wonderful. Oh, that's better. So tell me, where's that good-for-nothing son of ours? Oh, Zetron! Zetron Jr.!
Hiya, Pop.
What is that noise you're listening to?
Oh, that's just some oldies station. Hang on.
Well, so tell me, how was school today?
Well, in genetics class, I crossed a golden retriever with a kangaroo. When you throw a boomerang at it, it brings it back.
But a boomerang would come back anyway.
Ah. I guess that's why I flunked.
Why, you...
Honey, our next-door neighbor, David Letterman, is coming up the walk.
Oh, that moocher. As if I didn't have enough trouble already. All he does is borrow things. Boy, does he have it soft.
Sounds like our sex life.
Hi, Zitron.
Hi, Dave.
I can't stay long. Rocky 19's on TV tonight.
Dave, what are you doing in that ridiculous outfit?
Oh, I always wear this when I'm doing yard work. By the way, Zitron, that lawnmower I borrowed from you died again. Boy, that thing just can't cut it.
Sounds like somebody I know.
Right. About that lawnmower.
Yeah.
Maybe it needs some more plutonium.
Oh, great. Can I borrow $10?
I should have known. I thought you had a summer job.
Yeah, I did. I had a summer job, but it was on Venus.
So?
Well, the summers there are only 2 hours long. Oh, gosh.
Hey, Pop. Hey, I need money too, Pop.
What do you need money for?
Well, I'm taking Xena to the Man George concert. So long.
Why does he talk like this?
It's just a dramatic choice that I made for this particular character.
Yeah. What were the other choices?
An orthodontist.
Well, Zitron, don't let it bother you. Let's watch the ball game here. Let me just turn it on.
Yeah.
Zubar 3 is about to break Pete Rose's hit record. There's a lot of controversy about that asterisk in the record book, but then he is a robot.
That's right, he's a robot.
Also, the Cleveland Indians clinched another pennant today.
All right, Cleveland, what a dynasty.
Hey. You know, Dave, I just don't understand these kids today. I mean, they're fashions, you know. It's getting so you can't tell the mutants from the androids.
Well, the mutants have the higher voice.
Higher voice.
Yeah, but, you're probably were just like them when you were a kid, don't you suppose?
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Where's Junior?
Oh, he's off somewhere in the anti-gravity teleporter.
Honey, the teleporter isn't set for anti-gravity. It's set for cloning.
Cloning?
Dad, I think we got a problem.
Very nice. Thank you so much. Come on down here, Ken.
Oh, thank you.